Hello gorgeous, welcome to Cutting the Caboose, and I'm going to talk about being young and being fat. And this is a bit of a weird one for me, but I feel I need to talk about it, and I don't even have a script. So, I'm nearly 50 years old, I'm 49 in a few weeks time, and I've spent most of my life being very, very overweight. I first became overweight in my teens, and I spent decades, year after year, convincing myself that next year I would lose the weight. Next year would be my year. For about 35 years. I couldn't wear the clothes I wanted, couldn't even buy fashion from the high street. I had to go to, plus size, super sized shops. I had to use the extension belt on the plane because the normal seat belt didn't fit. I wasn't able to ride on my favorite, I love Disney World, I love, theme parks. Couldn't even ride those because I was just too big to fit on everything comfortably. And I've been that way for over nearly all my life, all my adult life, and a fair chunk of my teens as well. And here's the thing. I've now got to the point where I've been able to reverse that. I had a mini gastric bypass, as you may know if you've watched some of the older shows. Best decision of my life, by the way. Dr. Christa Byrne at the Bee Surgery Clinic in Belgium. Best procedure money can buy, best surgeon in the world, best procedure in the world. It's awesome. But that's another story. I've lost over 18 stone now, and it's great. And I'm now in the process of having surgery to put all that right. Okay. And as you can see, I don't look particularly big anymore because I'm down almost in the normal weight say. Well, okay. I do bodybuilding, so I've got a lot of muscle mass. I'm always going to be on the heavy end of the scale, but I'm nearly 6 foot tall as well, so I'm fine with that. And it's great. And I'm putting all that to rights now, and I'm having surgery. I've just had my arm fat cut off, and I've had my liposuction and tummy tuck done on my belly, and I'm about to get my bum and my inner thighs done, and all of that's happening, and that's fantastic. But the results are not going to be as good as they would have been had I simply not been overweight in the first place. And I'd also be a lot better off in my pocket financially. I've saved, I've had to put money aside. I've been planning the surgery for a long time, and let me tell you, getting cosmetic surgery, getting the right cosmetic surgery, getting bariatric surgery, all of that is expensive. To do it properly is very expensive. And so that's, I've got to spend tens of thousands of pounds to get a decent result. And I'm still not going to have the body that I'll never have, a fit body of somebody in their 20s or their teens. That ship has long gone. I'm making the best I can of it, and that's great, and and that's fine. But the point I'm trying to get across somehow is, if you're watching this, if you're young, if you're in your teens right now and you're overweight, consider what I'm saying. Because if I had taken the positive steps that I should have when I was a teenager, I could have prevented all of this. I could have prevented all this surgery. I could have had a great body. My skin would have been stretchy enough to not need, or possibly not need, excess skin removal and all of these sorts of things. I'd have enjoyed having, the body that I wanted as a teen, as a 20-something, as a 30-something, for most of being a 40-something. But when you're young, you think, I can do this next year. I did. For 35 years, I thought I could do this next year. And I listened to people who told me how easy it was to lose weight, and I didn't understand why it wasn't easy for me. And I listened to people who told me about sports and every fad diet under the sun. And I thought, every year I convinced myself that fine, I will find the diet that works for me. And I never did. I had a gastric band 8 years ago. That was a massive failure. Gastric bands, they just don't work very well. So act today, act now. And if you've genuinely been trying for a few years to lose weight and you're just looking for that right diet, every year that you look for another diet is another year you've wasted. Now, although I kind of am. I'll get around to that in a moment. My point is, know yourself and know what works for you and know what doesn't work for you. But take action. Don't just sit back and wait for the right diet. If you've been trying to find the right diet for a few years, maybe try something else. Maybe try therapy. Maybe try a different exercise plan. Really try it though. But I would give an awful lot to be able to turn the clock back 30 years. And I've avoided convincing myself year after year that I would get this next year. And if I could, I would just go and get bariatric surgery from the get-go, because that was what I needed. Now, with hindsight is 2020, of course. The reality is you probably shouldn't just try for a couple of years to lose weight. Do you know what I'm saying? And the bariatric surgery isn't for everyone. But when you've been at this for a few years, and you know, and you've got to be honest with yourself here, then be prepared to start changing those rules. And this applies to anyone, no matter how old you are. If you're young, act now. Do something now. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. That doesn't work that way. Keep changing, keep trying something different. And I don't just mean herbal juice or plus plan or the next bullshit plan. Actually try things which are different, you know? Try different exercise, try different social groups, exhaust every opportunity and take them off the list. Do not be passive about this. I can't stress this enough. You don't want to be like me and spend 35 years being morbidly obese, or 30 years or 20 years, hell 10 years. So start acting, start realizing that I can remember being 18 like that. It was just the other day. And yet between then and now, 35 years or something have passed, and I spent it being a beached whale. You know, I mean, I've said it before, but I used to go to SeaWorld and people would try and feed me fish or herd me back into the whale pool. Japanese tourists would chase me with harpoons. If I wore black and white, that was a real problem. Do you know what I'm saying? So take action. Tomorrow comes really fast. Next year comes really fast. And 10 years down the road comes way faster than you realize. If you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s and you've been exhausting this and you've been trying every plan. And here's the thing, okay? I don't want to say, I'm reluctant to say, look, get bariatric surgery. Bariatric surgery for me was the best thing that I ever did. It worked brilliantly. I have to be honest here, I'm probably ahead of the curve. I lost weight faster than most people. I had less excess skin than most people. I regained more of my original strength than most people. I did have some hair loss, but again, not that much. I didn't go bald. And I mean, my hair was, you know, you've seen my Cinderella video, you know? So I'm a you know, possibly a best case example. So you need to go into this with your eyes open if that's the approach you're going to take or not. But what I'm saying is take positive action, something, and keep trying things until you find what works for you. Give things a good go, but if they don't work, draw a line under them and then try something else. But at some point, you may come to bariatric surgery, is what I'm trying to say. And for me, it was the best thing I ever did. So that's kind of the point of this video. To now, it only occurred to me the other day. I was just talking to some people and they have a young daughter who was in the mindset now that I was in, that I'll sort it out tomorrow. And honestly, the time flies very quickly. Act now. So that's all I'm saying. Don't sit back and wait for these things to happen. Because, man, it sucks. I spent a long time being really miserable. And yeah, by many standards, you know, my business was a success. I've had good financial fortunes and that sort of thing, and good friends and you know, great family and all of that. But I was still deeply unhappy about this, you know, part of my life. So there it is. If you want to, I'm going to put this out there. If you're struggling with your weight, drop me a line. I can put you in touch with some people. I'll even chat to you. Okay, and I did say I wouldn't do this sort of thing anymore because it tends to become a little bit heavy. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to be a counsellor or anything like that, but I will try to listen and perhaps give you some perspective on where you may be. So, you know, honestly, there are links to my Instagram profile and my, you know, ways you can reach me. Please don't make this open season, but if you're in a position where you need to have some perspective, maybe I can help, or maybe you can find a counsellor or a therapist to help. Reach out to someone. Don't do what I did. And while it's great now and I'm having, look, you know, on the plus side, okay, I'm getting tons of footage and tons of content for my channel here. Everyone's loving these surgery videos. Hey, it's exciting. I'm having a great time too. But you know what? I would have to be able to turn the clock back and just have had a nice lean body, or even decent body, or even not a morbidly obese body for most of my life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this resonates with you. Not everyone's going to get this, but you might. So ping me or ping someone. Don't put it off till tomorrow, okay? Thank you so much. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe, dislike. I'd love to see your comments. What do you think about anything? And I'll see you in the very next show. I love you very much. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.